guys, I hope that you're all doing well. Today's lesson is about greater exponents, and I'll introduce a new rule: to raise a power to an exponent, multiply the exponents. Before you start with this video, I'd recommend that you check out the grade 8 video where I introduce this law. It's the 5th part of the series, and I'll make sure that the link to the video is featured in the description. So if you have, let's say, I believe that you just came back from the video, right? So I'll just remind you guys, if you have 2 to the power 2 or 2 squared, then outside the bracket you have 3. How do you solve this? You write down your base, which is 2, then you multiply the exponents. 2 times 3, which is 2 to the power 6. Now what if you had, let's say, 2 to the power 9 times 3 to the power 2? Outside the bracket you have 5. We start with the first term, right? We have 2 to the power 9. So we write down our base, which is 2. Then 9 times 5, let's show our working. 9 times 5 times, we have 3 here, we write down our 3. 2 times 5, 2 times 5. So our final answer is 2. What is 9 times 5? 45 times 3. What is 2 times 5? 10. Okay, that is how you work out this 3, raised to the power 3. Now let's do a few examples under grade 10 exponents. Let's try, in a bracket we have 2xy cubed raised to the power 3. Okay, so you start with the values, the same thing that we did in the previous videos. We'll say 2, we have an invisible one here, so it'll be 1 times 3, which is 2. What is 1 times 3? 3. What is 2 cubed? It's 8. So you write down our 8 here. Okay, you may show these workings in your exam or in your classwork on the right hand side so that your teacher sees your workings. Now we're done with the value or the coefficient. Let's move to our variables. What do we have here? We have x, right? This is basically x to the power 1. So let's say x to the power 1 times, to the power 3. So you'll say x, we write down our base, then 1 times 3, which is x to the power 3. So write down our x to the power 3 here. Now let's move to the second variable. We have y cubed, but it's in a bracket. What do we have outside? We have 3. So we write down our base, which is y, then 3 times 3. Your answer is y to the power 9. Y to the power 9. And that is your final answer. Now let's try a few more examples. Let's try, in a bracket we have 4a squared b to the power 4 raised to the power 2. We start with our values or the coefficient. So this will be 4. We have a 2 outside. So this is basically 4 to the power 1. So we write down our base, which is 4. Then 1 times 2. Our answer is 4 to the power 2. 4 squared is 16. So we write down our 16 here. Now let's move to our variables. We have a to the power 2 or a squared, right? Outside our bracket we have a 2. So we write down our base, which is a, then 2 times 2. This is a to the power, 2 times 2 is 4. A to the power 4. What is another? The second variable, we have b to the power 4. b to the power 4, but it's in a bracket. We have 2 outside a bracket. So we write down our base, which is b, then 4 times 2. Your answer is b, 4 times 2 is 8. So you write your b to the power 8 here. And that is your final answer. Let's do number 2. Let's try 9 squared pq squared. Outside a bracket we have a 2 raised to the power 2. We start with our values or the coefficient, which is 9 squared. Outside our bracket we have a 2. So we have our base here, which is 9. We write down our base, 9. Then 2 times 2. This is 9 to the power 4. What is 9 to the power 4? Please make sure that you verify your answer with a calculator. You'll get a very big answer, which is 6,561. So you write down your value here, 6,561. Now let's move to our variables. Okay, we have p, outside our bracket we have 2. So you write down our base, which is p. What are exponents? 1 and 2. So this is 1 times 2, which is p to the power 2. So here we have a p squared. Now let's move to our other variable. We have q squared, but it's in a bracket. You have a 2 outside our bracket. So this will be, you write down our base, which is q. What's the next step? Multiply our exponents. 2 times 2, your answer is q to the power 4. So this is q to the power 4. And that is your final answer. Let's try negative x squared, y cubed, outside a bracket we have 2 raised to the power 2. We start with our values, or the coefficient. This is basically negative 1, right? So we'll say in our bracket we have negative 1, then outside our bracket we have 2. Okay, let's write down our base, negative 1. But because it's a negative, it should always be in a bracket, okay? So this is basically negative 1 to the power 1. What do? We multiply our exponents. This will be 1 times 2, which is negative 1 to the power 2. So what is negative 1 to the power 2? It's positive 1, okay? In mathematics, you can verify this with your calculator. Please always make sure that you use a calculator, especially if you're uncertain. In math, anything that is raised to the power 2 is positive. So this is just the 1. We don't really have to show that 1. Let's move to our variables. We have x squared. It's in a bracket, raised to the power 2. Let's write down our base, x, then 2 times 2. This is x to the power 4. Let's write our answer here, x to the power 4. Remember, we had a 1 here, but you don't really have to write down that y. That 1, let's move to our second variable. We have y cubed, but it's in a bracket. We have a 2 outside, raised to the power 2. We write down our base, y, then 3 times 2. This is y to the power 6. So y to the power 6. And that is how we simplify this problem. Let's do the last example. Let's try negative 2 squared fy raised to the power 2. How do we solve this? We start with a coefficient, which is negative 2 squared. We have a 2 outside our bracket. Okay. What's the first step? We write down our base, which is negative 2. But it's negative. In mathematics, whenever you deal with anything that's negative, make sure that it's in a bracket. What's the next step? We multiply our exponents. So this is 2 times 2. This is negative 2. 2 times 2 is 4. What is negative 2 to the power 4? When you punch this in a calculator, please make sure that you write it exactly as it is. If it's negative 2 in a bracket, make sure that you put a bracket, then a 4 outside as the exponent. Okay? Your answer will be 16. So you write our 16 here. Let's move to our variables. We have f to the power 2. What's the first step? You write down your base, f. This is basically f to the power 1. So 1 times 2, your answer is f squared. So f squared. Let's move to y. This is basically y to the power 2. This is just y to the power 1. Right? You write down our base, which is 1. Then 1 times 2. This is y squared. Right? Let's write down our y squared. And that is your simplified answer. That is how we solve in grade 10 exponents. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.